Hey guys, yeah, it's June 1st. It is 10:47. I have an hour and 13 minutes to go before I clock in. I'm supposed to be here at noon, but the way the buses run, I'll put it this way. If I would have took the 11 o'clock, I've been 11 minutes late, and I do not want that. I mean, I probably would stay till 4:11 to make up for it, but what are you gonna, or whatever. But I don't want that or anything. But I want to come on here, give you guys. I know I did a bit of an update before, but just to kind of clue you in on what's going on right now. Tomorrow, I'll be on the internet. There's no doubt because what's happening tomorrow is, well, if I am on the internet tomorrow, it'll be really early. But basically, what's happening is we got the Xfinity guy. We got basically we got a workman, if you will, from Xfinity, from Comcast. Um, we got a guy from Xfinity Comcast coming in tomorrow to kind of upgrade some of our equipment, because on Sunday, for some odd reason on Sunday, things seem to be a little off. Like, basically, I'll put it this way: the guy, when you turn on the cable box, which is your master cable box in your living room, or it's your small cable box, like this miniature ones they give you. For some odd reason, there was something kind of a foul, if you will, on Sunday, I should say, because the guide, and it was going on for a couple of hours. It's like the guide wasn't working properly, it was going very slow when you would use the remote, and sometimes there would be no movement at all. Instead, you try to like press OK to go to a channel, and it would say 1 moment please in the upper corner, and that really was kind of weird. So I was thinking, what's going on? And the internet itself was kind of slow at times, but not as much. It was mostly, the cable. Like, the internet was fine. The internet was like okay, but not really. It's like a lot of the things were being, like certain parts of our service were affected, if you will. Mostly the cable, somewhat the internet, but not the phone. So something was up. And I looked online, and apparently I wasn't the only one. Me and my mom were not the only ones dealing with it. Apparently there was an outage in several places around, Stanislaus County, where I live, as well as there was some outages across the country. And nobody could understand what it was. So what happened is I called customer service, and I talked to this guy, and of course, I say this with no offense, all due respect. The guy I got on the line with, on the phone with, had an accent. Again, saying this with all due respect, no offense. Had a certain accent to him, and I guess he kind of understood our plight. But what was funny is after we talked to him for almost about an hour, all of a sudden the services went on, perfectly. And me and my mom kind of thought about this. We were like, okay, that was weird, that was odd. But we also thought it was kind of convenient or ironic that suddenly after we make this call and talk to this guy and even order the upgrades that are going to happen tomorrow, everything went on. So it makes you wonder, because I know there's that one Looney Tunes show episode or mini episode where that turtle that Bugs would race around is acting like a evil cable, like a cable representative who's screwing up Bugs' cable and stuff, and doing it purposely to get him to do these kind of things, and Bugs gets even with him. But anyway, it kind of felt similar to that in a way, but not, not like, oh, this guy is doing this on purpose and everything. Oh, he knows, or like, oh, he knows what's really going on. He's just not going to say. And he probably does, but like I said, he's not going to say. But I don't think he was doing it on purpose. I think what it is, just like my older sister who used to work for Comcast Xfinity, sometimes they have to, or I guess sometimes they get assigned, certain, regions, certain, customers or regions, if you will, to kind of mess with a little bit, to kind of like, cause a disturbance in certain parts of their package, if you will, that basically, doesn't need to be messed with, that doesn't need to be messed with whatsoever. Anyway, long story short, what happened is after we talked to the guy and everything ironically came back online perfectly, with a few issues here and there, but not much, those issues were quickly resolved on their own. Like I said, ironically, all the services came back on, but it was during the discussion, and I'm sorry if I'm kind of like pausing in between or looking around. I'm doing this before work, and I've got plenty of time to do it. But like I said, even during that, phone call, talking to them, that's when we basically set up an appointment for this. Well, actually, it was supposed to be for yesterday, but I was at work, and we were on a wait list for Sunday, but obviously that got filled up, so had to reschedule for tomorrow. In the later parts of the morning, to have Xfinity send somebody out to upgrade the equipment just in case. And what they're going to do basically is probably give us a new cable box for the bedroom. I don't think it should affect the other ones. I don't think it should. If it does, obviously they're going to or if it does affect it, that means obviously they got to give us some new smaller boxes as well to go with it, but we'll see. But besides that, the other thing they're going to give us is the new Wi-Fi modem that they've been promoting, the new white one that has 4 ports on it. That's right, 4 Ethernet ports. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, because right now what I'm operating on as far as ports go is my laptop, is my PS4, and that's about it. But if I can get these 2 ports additionally to that, then that could be helpful in the long run. It could be really helpful in the long run, because I could connect it to the TV in the back and not have to worry about the Wi-Fi signal going out and anything, as well as I could connect it maybe to my Xbox, my Xbox One, and go from there. So we'll see what happens after tomorrow, but I will be online hopefully without any issues, because apparently this new modem is supposed to help speed up the Wi-Fi in a big way, the internet service in a big way. And so we'll see about that. But yeah, like I said, on Sunday, for some odd reason, things were going crazy. I mean, YouTube wasn't acting right. Xfinity was having issues, And again, I think the Xfinity thing is kind of like when they call you up to remind you, hey, you got this bill to pay and everything for your cable. I think, they may not say it, but it's mere speculation. I think basically they're assigned to mess with certain regions, like certain customers in certain regions get pulled up, and it's like, okay, screw up that cable, or screw up that service a little bit, or screw up that service a little bit. So that way they know you'll probably get frustrated to want to call them up and upgrade the service. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to upgrade the service. But I will be online tomorrow, don't worry. And maybe I might do, if the thing works as promised, as promoted, if it works that way, I'll probably have a live stream without hopefully no data being not seen, or basically no downgrade in lag or anything like that. But yeah, that's what's going to happen tomorrow. That's what's happening tomorrow. Now, you guys have probably seen a new video pop up today. I did it last night. And, of course, it's my review of Part 9 of the Melting Me series by Desi Arts, a.k.a. Michelle on DeviantArt. So, hopefully you guys watch that. Take your time with it, because it is over an hour. It is over half an hour, over 30 minutes, basically about 34, almost 35 minutes. But check that out. I'd be really appreciative if you do. And yeah, besides that, on Monday, I took care of this I started taking care of this on Saturday, and then Monday I kind of confirmed it. I took Monday off, unfortunately, because what happened is, the buses, like what I took today and yesterday, they don't run on Memorial Day. They don't run on the major holidays. So I had to take the bus that day. I had to take the bus. Well, not take the bus, but I had to... Okay, let me correct myself. What I meant to say is I couldn't take the bus that day because they were, not running. And I know some of you are saying, well, could you have taken a Lyft? Could you take an Uber? I could have done that, but here's the end result. Uber, for some odd reason, even if you schedule ahead, cannot work in doesn't work basically in my vicinity. It'll give me an error saying nothing available, or we can't work that area. But Lyft is fine. In fact, last week or so I had to take a Lyft because the 7:30 bus that I would take to come to work at 9 or 9:30 had a new driver, and obviously that new driver didn't understand what they were doing, and they just went whee straight down Highway 33, did not stop. So I know if I have to take a Lyft, I will. I know that. But yeah, I had to take Memorial Day off, not just because I couldn't take Lyft or anything I could have, but they would have cost an arm and a leg. I'll put it this way. In the days prior, the prices were steep, like in the 50s, whatever, upper 40s. When I looked on the day I would be working on Monday, I noticed it was still like $40.61, and that's one way. So you can imagine what it would be going back. And I'm like, why would I? And I'm like, well, I could do that, but then I'd be really tight for money, and I don't want to do that. And you might be wondering, well, you live with your mom, why didn't she take you? I'll put it to you like this. My mom is at an age right now to where she still works, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord, she still works. But because she still works, she travels from Newman to Livermore. From Newman, California to Livermore, California. Which means she has to go on the freeway. She takes this side road called Steer Road that, is right outside of Newman. She takes that. She gets on the freeway. And then from the freeway, she goes and drives for about 45, 50 minutes, traffic depending, whatever. And, sometimes she'll make it there in plenty of time. She'll make it there in plenty of time. Or what will happen is she'll have to call her job because there might be a slow up or an accident or whatever that occurred, and she has to let them know, hey, I'm going to be there, but I might be a few minutes late. So it takes her, without incident, takes her about 45, 50 minutes to get there. And she has to leave around 6:45 in the morning, around 6:45 to 6:50 in the morning, just to get there on time, to have a little time before she clocks in. Then at 4:30, or maybe a few minutes after 4:30, unless they keep them for a training or whatever, but mainly around a little after 4:30 or around 4:30, and like I said, unless they keep them till 5 for training, she has to basically get in the car and go back you know, go back down the street where, basically she has to get in her car, get out of the parking lot, go down the street from where her job's at, get to the freeway, get on said freeway, fight the traffic there, if you will, fight the traffic there, go back over the Altamont for the second time before she gets into the area she knows to get to Patterson, to get to Newman and all that. So you can imagine put yourself in my mom's shoes doing that. You're going from Newman to Livermore. That's essentially like almost 80 miles. I wouldn't say 80 miles, maybe 60 miles, something like that. But it's basically nearly an hour drive, traffic depending, nearly an hour drive. Basically a 45 to 60 minute drive. Imagine yourself in my mom's shoes. Okay? Imagine yourself in her shoes, having to do that 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, with the exceptions of spring break, 2 weeks of Christmas break, and basically 2 months of the summer. Imagine doing that for most of the year. You'd be tired too, right? You'd be tired too, knowing that you're leaving at between 6:45 in the morning, or 6:45 to 6:50 in the morning, and you're not back to almost 6:30 at night, even if it's daylight savings time. So put yourself in her shoes. You'd be tired too, right? And the reason I bring this up, if anybody's curious as to why she couldn't take me, that's why. She didn't want to travel. She didn't want to drive. Even if it's just Newman to Turlock, which isn't as far as Newman to Livermore, she doesn't want to drive. She doesn't. And it doesn't help that we were at my older sister's for Memorial Day barbecue on Sunday until late. And I had a few, not as much. I had a few, not much to, make me sick or anything, but still enough to really, make me tired and everything, kind of feel it the next day. But still, whether I felt like that or not, she still wouldn't have taken me. I mean, she was considering it, but then I guess my second older sister and my older sister are like, look, Mom, that's your day off. He could just call in, and that's what I did. Thankfully, they understood. And from what I can tell yesterday, I wasn't the only one that didn't show up. I wasn't the only one that called in. And I think that's something that has to be looked at. That is something that needs to be looked at by not just the Target retail stores, but by Kohl's, like the Kohl's over there. If you will, because Kohl's is right across the street from me. Old Navy, Walmart, you name it. A lot of the major retail stores out there, they need to, and maybe along with the super retail stores, which are also grocery stores, they should consider maybe for the major holidays just to close up. Like if they could close up for Thanksgiving and Christmas, why can't they just do the same for Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day? Why can't they just do those? I mean, yeah, New Year's Eve might be an exception, but you know what they could do with New Year's Eve? They could do the same thing they do with Christmas Eve. They could close up early. That way, the next day, you give your employees and employers, your managers and all that, time to rest, so that they come back the next day refreshed. And that is something that a lot of retail companies should look into. Even places like Amazon should look into it. Because one, if you want to basically make sure your business is not criticized by former employees or anything, and you want to have a positive outlook, that's one way of doing it. That is one way of doing it. You basically give all your employees, all your employers, your managers and everything, the major holidays off and go from there. So that way you don't have any incidents or anything the next day. You basically would have plenty of people coming in because they'd be well rested. End of story. You might have a few call-ins here and there, but besides that, you'd have people coming in without an issue. The thing is, it's just something that in my opinion, all major retailers should consider. You shouldn't make an exception just for 2 holidays that happen towards the end of the year. You should consider it for all major holidays. Because like me, you might have people that can only get rides from, family members, and maybe those family members don't feel like doing it. And, with Lyft and Uber, their prices could be ridiculous, especially with the way gas is going. Yeah, that's not going to be a good thing to look at. That's not going to be a good thing to look at or consider. But yeah, that's why, she didn't. But to basically make a long story short, for Monday, that's why I had to call in, because even she wouldn't do it. And it did give me time to do some laundry anyway, so there's a positive to that. There's a positive. But yeah, I went back to work yesterday. I'm getting ready to clock in very soon here. It's about 11:08, so I got about 52 minutes. And then I'm off tomorrow, which again is good, because that way I'll be there for the cable guy when they come and do the upgrade. And then come Friday, I go back to work. But what's interesting about Friday is that's when the bus itself has to go through a different stoppage change. Not just a route change, if you will, per se, but a stoppage change. And what I mean by that is it stops at the park in Patterson to give the drivers like 10-minute, 15-minute breaks or whatever, a little bit of a rest before they have to drive again. And this time around, starting, I don't know if it's going to start tomorrow, but I know it's starting Friday. They're going to have to go over to a certain stop. If it's still the same stop as before, we call it the yellow store, or we call it the yellow store, if you will. They're probably going to have to stop there on the side, because that's basically the alternative bus stop, transfer stop when the fiesta happens. And so yeah, that's what's going to occur on Friday. And then on Saturday is the day. Saturday and Sunday is the day we'll be at the fiesta, and basically it's going to be during that time you might get some live streams and all that here and there. It is going to make me do one thing too, though. It's going to make me make sure that my batteries, both my batteries, if not all 3 portable batteries that I have, that I bring with me, are fully charged for that event. Because I know live streaming is going to take a lot, and so is recording like this is. It's going to take a lot. But anyway, I just wanted to, like I say, come on here and give you guys a bit of a 1st of June 1st vlog update before work, to let you know what's going on, what's happening and everything. And really that's about it. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below. Comment if you like. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you on this. And until next time, guys, I am out. Super thanks are initiated, which, by the way, thank you to those that have contributed that way. It really helps out. So continue doing so. Be really appreciative. But until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are down below on everything I've mentioned here. And again, check out my latest video where I review the bonus 9th part, the 2023 preview of the Melting Me Ice series by Desi Arts at DeviantArt. And also check out the entire series to catch up to it, to where it is currently. And I think, as I've said before, you will enjoy it. You'll really get a kick out of it. But until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later.